Podcast log supplemental. We need more content to fight the cabal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is a YouTube exclusive, I guess. I don't know. This is some clips that we're doing to talk about the most recent TWAB, which is concerning the Destiny content vault that dropped right before the show, and we couldn't really fit it in. So here we are, and we're going to talk about it. Jay, take it away.
What's up, everybody? So it's August 20th, and arguably for a while, we've been getting really dry sets of TWABs from Bungie. But this one, we see there's kind of a decent amount of stuff. So wanted to go over it and just kind of talk about it and just kind of get your thoughts below. So let us know in the comments how you guys feel about this, if it matters, if it bothers you at all, if it's anything. Let us know. So the first thing that we're seeing here is these are the activities and the repeatable content that is going into the vault and that is staying. Because we've heard so far that there's going to be some of the planets that are actually removed, which we would have thought basically wholesale from PvP, PvE, anything to do with that planet was going to be moved into the vault. But it looks like they are kind of curating some stuff more individually. So starting with the strikes, things that are remaining in the vaults. The Arms Dealer, Lake of Shadows, Inverted Spire, Exodus Crash, thanks. Insight Terminus, Warden of Nothing, Hollowed Lair, Broodhold, which was, I believe that was the PlayStation exclusive one, so that's the one that most unfamiliar to a lot of you. The Corrupted, the Scarlet Keep, the Will of Crota returns, and a new Europa strike gets brought in. Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber are also coming out of the vault. Moving into the vault is the Pyramidion, Festering Core, Savathun's Song, Strange Terrain, Will of the Thousands, Tree of Probabilities, and a Garden World. So for me, when I'm looking at this, we're keeping some stuff from Nessus, and we're ditching almost everything else.
Yeah, I think that this kind of goes to show that everything in the evacuation quests, that's the main sort of source of stuff that's getting vaulted, and we're going to be able to keep some of Nessus, if not like a lot more of Nessus than we initially thought. But not sad to see Savathun's Song go. I think I've done that a billion times. Kind of wish they took Exodus Crash.
I really wish they took Exodus Crash. I don't know. Like, when you're going to go through and curate the strikes, they have to know the completion rate and the amount of people that leave during that strike. Like, there's no way that I'm going to believe that there is not a metric out there. So maybe we'll see a change to Exodus Crash. I don't know. If the boss, like, it's just a long strike in general. Like, it is the longest strike, I believe.
Is it longer than the Corrupted?
The Corrupted's up there. The Corrupted is at least beautiful, like when you're going down and towards the boss and everything. And you start out in a cool spot in the Dreaming City. So like I get wanting to showcase that, but also why? Tree Probabilities and Guard World are to me kind of similar and just honestly I forget which one's which when I'm doing it. I'm just like, right, we're in the tree. I get it. It's gonna shoot at Mercury, dude.
They both go through the Infinite Forest, right? Like
they're both.
When a substantial amount of your strike goes to the Infinite Forest, you basically have half a strike. Like like the Mercury stuff and the Infinite Forest. I think ever since Curse of Osiris came out, that was just sort of a big block of wasted potential. We'll see it come back. Like I want to see it retooled.
I really do too. I think it's such a cool idea. There's no sky.
Wait,
like
hold on.
The way they built that is beautiful. I hate the usage of it.
I just had an idea. Okay, so we all know Beyond Light got delayed to November. They pushed up, or they're keeping the same date for Festival of the Lost. If they vaulted the Infinite Forest, would that mean that we would have gotten a different activity this year for Festival of the Lost that didn't have the Infinite Forest component?
No, because I think the Infinite Forest version of Festival of the Lost is completely different. I don't think it's a tooled version of the way the Infinite Forest like functions the way that we have it. I think it's just its own version.
It's like itself in the lore.
I believe it is, and it's also it physically looks different. It's actually dark inside. Like the map is different.
Right, but
like,
it's obviously the.
It's just
with like
I think they built
it
in this. They built it in the same like environment.
Okay.
I honestly, it's one of my. Well, a lot of people are like, "Oh, there's going to be more stuff because they pushed the game back." Like, no, obviously they pushed the game, release back just because they needed more time to work on the base game. We're not getting bonus content for that. I think if there is anything that's changed, I think we might see a slightly different event for Halloween for Festival of the Lost. So, interested, but honestly, if you're curating strikes and you're taking some out, like leave Strange Terrain versus Exodus Crash. Inverted Spire's fun. Insight Terminus is all right. Lake of Shadow, I was glad to see it remain. That's a nice one. Arms Dealer, it's really fun. It's a boss that you can melt. So anytime that you can do one of those, I'm down for.
Right.
So also, obviously, I was thinking Devil's Lair because I love that one, but for Fallen Saber's coming back too, which was a very, very fun strike as well.
So interesting thing, and I caught this in the podcast, so you're listening to this after the show. We're not getting Sepix Prime first. We're getting Omnigul first.
Yes, I think that they said that there was going to be. They said in year 4, Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber, so which may mean technically like actually when like the year starts, so it might not be right away. But yeah, we're gonna get Omnigul as well. So like controversial topic. I actually
Crota is Omnigul,
right? Yes, yeah.
So just by the numbers here, we lose 7 strikes. We're getting 1 Europa strike from this, but we don't know if Redacted is more than 1. But by the looks of it, just 1. Plus 1 Destiny 1 strike with 2 on the horizon. So a net of -3 just from this list. Again, we don't know what's coming up on the horizon for Europa's strike list, but right now that sort of has me worried.
A little bit, yeah. So then moving on into Gambit and Gambit Prime, they're saying they're going to be merged into one activity when year 4 kicks off on November 10th. Okay, so year 4 considers the start as November 10th. The new version is going to be more similar to Prime. Will start as a single round face-off with tweaked blockers, heavier moat drain, and some changes to the Primeval fight. We'll give more details as it comes up. Unlike Strikes and other PvE content, year 4 Gambit playlist is a best of list. We felt it was important to keep the Gambit changes in rotation, regardless of their destination's fictional state. Good. I like this. So on November 10th, there's going to be 4 maps. Emerald Coast, which is the EDZ one. Legion's Folly, which is the Nessus one. Deep 6 on Titan, and New Arcadia on Mars. Moving into the vault is the Cathedral of Stars and the Kel's Grave, which is the Tangled Shore. Kind of bummed about the Kel's Grave one because the Tangled Shore, I believe that was in the beta weekend for Gambit. When you got to try out the event, I kind of like that one. Never comes up. I actually like that map quite a bit.
Can't remember what it. Oh wait, no, I do remember what it looks like.
It's got the yellow liquid floor.
Yeah,
I like that one. It's got the man cannons. Like those are good.
I kind of like the Cathedral Scars as well. That has like early Gambit vibes for me, like pre-Gambit Prime. That was one of the first maps that I remember playing it on. So
I like that one too. Actually, I'm remembering that.
That's a bummer. I'm really not super well versed in sort of the top tier strategies or the meta of Gambit, but I'm also not sure what the Gambit community thinks of the maps. But I do think that if you have only 6 maps, is there really a reason to take some out? Or will we get new Gambit maps? Like, there's nothing on the list.
My only thought is maybe they're taking them out because of the sandbox changes that they know are going to happen. Maybe it's going to be too easy to like wipe a team and keep them suppressed if you spawn kind of in the back area and you're able to take out 1 or 2 members and kind of just basically keep them camped in their spawn. For Cathedral, I know that that's possible to do.
Right.
Kel's Grave, I guess they're like, if you really think about it, those 2 maps are kind of the most open Gambit maps. Like you don't really have a lot of space to hide, so that could possibly be part of it. Yeah.
At the bottom of that,
like the Titan map at all. So
at the bottom of that, let me just read this to you because we did miss it. As we perform maintenance on the activity, Gambit Prime armor perks will be deprecated. We are exploring ways to rebalance and reintroduce some of these perks as armor mods in the future. Alongside these changes, we'll be rotating some maps into the CV while retaining popular reach for the mode.
Okay, so that kind of confirms the suspicion. We were talking about this during our MMO podcast, which was the fact that the Gambit armor sets actually were something that they got right. And that felt really good to like throw on a Gambit armor set and kind of moving stuff.
Yeah, at the same time, this is working against that. This
Yeah,
is
it is.
like
It is.
that.
Exactly.
That's what worries me. Like we do
Yeah.
have the Solstice armor grind right now, but the only other armor sets that work in tandem with itself are the Gambit Prime armor sets. More systems in which we grind up armor to become attached to it, to feel like we are building up these pieces of gear, and like that's what we need. And to see it deprecated like this, like I don't fucking use Gambit armor, but I know I every time I play Gambit I suffer from other people who do, so I'm sure that some
Yep.
people will be upset about that.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of upset about it. I think it's a little whack. But yeah, so that's going on with that. Let's get down to brass tacks.
Business. Okay.
Crucible. And they're saying like Gambit, Crucible maps will be curated best of and will be pulled from D1 and D2's legacy. This is their planned rotation. So I think with all this stuff is going to be things that they're not 100% sure on. They might tweak and stuff as it goes on, which is honestly a good kind of place to put themselves, just because locking yourselves into a whole rotation for a year is a bad idea. That's honestly been one of the gripes that the Destiny community has always had with Bungie, is that it feels like it takes too long to like fix certain things, right? So I think that that's kind of a good thing. So let's look at the year 4 maps starting November 10th. From D1, we're keeping Bannerfall, Exodus Blue, Rusted Lands, Twilight Gap, which is great. I think that is actually all the maps that they brought in from D1.
My question about the Destiny 1 maps, though, is are we going to see them the way in their current status, which is like sort of scaled up?
They have to be.
Hey,
I think
are
they do, because D1 had way slower movement than D2. I don't think you can put any D1 map in its original form, because you'd be scooting around that. You'd be warlocks getting around that in seconds. You could already move around it really fast. It's honestly like if you go like pixel for pixel, if you like load up PS4 and look at it, it's not that much bigger, but it's enough just to kind of compensate for the change in that stuff.
I would love to see
We should do
sort
that.
of a comparison, or like even just from Bungie, like maybe re-looking at some of the maps we got back.
Doing like a race of like how long it takes from one end to the other on
Yeah.
a D1 character versus a D2 character. All right, so for D2 maps, we've got Altar of Flame, which is the big one that's on Mercury. So that's staying. That's just kind of part of the thing where like Mercury's going away as a planet. Altar of Flame is remaining. The Anomaly from the Moon. Anomaly is listed as a D2 map, but it's technically a D1 map. So
That's why I have the question.
yeah. Like,
Also in here,
why
Cauldron.
is that?
Dead.
Cauldron's in there. It's a D1 map.
Widow's Court.
Widow's Court, yeah. Maybe they're considering them D2 because of the way their changes and stuff like that.
Is there
Endless Veil
changes,
is literally Endless Veil is the IO version of Shores of Time, the Venus map from D1. So we're seeing Altar Flame, Anomaly, Burnout, Cauldron, Convergence, Dead Cliffs, which I love Dead Cliffs, Distant Shore, Endless Veil, which is from IO. That's another one that's that's the IO one. The Fortress, which is that's a controversial one that a lot of people hate. That's the one in the EDZ, right? Javelin 4, which is another great map that I'm glad is staying. Midtown, you could delete that from the game for me. I hate that map. Pacifica remains. Dead Cliffs. Wait, they have
the Fortress is
Where is Fortress is that's like the Broken Castle one from EDZ.
Yeah, is that really?
I think it's the EDZ.
There's a lot of
there's trees in the background.
Yeah, but the architecture for the broken ship. I guess that's like could be a Kel's ship that like
that's a catch.
Crashed.
Yeah, it's a fallen broken catch. We have a Radiant Cliffs. Sorry, not the Dead Cliffs. Radiant Cliffs, Widow's Court, and then Wormhaven. Wormhaven remains. I'm happy about that one. So moving to the vault is Meltdown, Solitude, Retribution, Citadel, which is the Dreaming City one. Yeah, that one was whack. Emperor's Respite, which I love that map, and I'm kind of upset that one was suppressed in the rotation and it's being taken out. I think that's a really good map. Equinox and Eternity, the 2 Trials of the 9 maps, which fine, I like those, but it's understandable. Firebase Echo, good riddance. Gambler's Ruin, which was the PlayStation map, that was the one that was
that's a typo.
Shore. Gamber's Ruin. Legion's Gulch and Vostok. We were talking about Vostok today in our clan chat. I hate Vostok. I know a lot of people hate Vostok. I think that's one of those things where Vostok is actually the perfect sized map in Destiny 2 for 6v6. I think a lot of the maps just work better for 3v3 because they were designed for 4v4. So I think the 3v3 with a little bit more space kind of works out. But anyway, those are the maps that are going to be going out of rotation, which I think overall that's a good list. And then they also mentioned as year 4 starts, we're looking at the opportunity to focus on the Crucible experience by reducing the number of PvP playlists and modes that receive the most play. Oh, to those that receive the most play. I was like, what? This will increase the matchmaking pools for the remaining playlists and make it easier to find matches with better connections. We'll have a full preview of Crucible changes later this season. Okay, so that's good. I'm hoping that's going to be at least like a video of some sort. But here's a preview of the modes that will be active and the modes that will be transitioning into the vaults. So remaining, and it will be available on November 10th. Rumble, Clash, Control with Iron Banner Control remaining, Elimination with Trials of Osiris remaining. So that's interesting. Showdown, Survival, and Mayhem Clash. What they're moving into the vaults. Supremacy, good riddance. That mode works so much better in Call of Duty. Countdown is going away. Lockdown is going away. Lockdown was a cool mode. So is Breakthrough. That's also going away. Doubles, which honestly, doubles never worked in D2 because in Halo, you had like 2v2v2, which was really fun. In Destiny, doubles ended up just feeling like a sparse version of Trials, to be honest, or Survival. Breakthrough, so that Momentum Control, and Scorched. Why? There's an asterisk on those. Why is there an asterisk on these?
It doesn't say.
There's literally no
Doesn't
no
say.
key to the asterisk. Okay, fine. We'll go with it for now.
Reacting to this, I am super sad to see Supremacy go. I've got some attachment to that. Just loving Rise of Iron. So shout out to myself in the past. LG Destiny Invitational was a Supremacy only event. But you know, it is what it is. Supremacy did not really work that well in D2. Countdown on Lockdown. We still have Showdown.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Not too upset. I really like objective-based game modes in first-person shooters. I don't feel like I love Search and Destroy in Call of Duty. I love watching CS. I want to see something like that in Destiny. I understand why it's not as competitive because it literally slows down the gameplay in a game that is super fast and super movement-based.
Yeah.
Get it. 100% get it. I think there's room here. What I'd love to see coming back out of the vault, Rift, and also more D1 maps coming back. I would love to see. There's some ones that I can't remember the name of that I miss dearly. Even the non-competitive ones, like the one on Mars that was like the Firebase Delta.
Firebase Delphi, dude.
Yeah.
Firebase Delphi. Love that map. It's an amazing one.
Played so much on that map. I would love to see that one specifically come back, and also Rift. But you know, it is what it is.
The things about the D1 maps is that, like, and we always say this too, is like the way that they forced you to approach like control points was very unique. Like, especially on Firebase Delphi, you had to jump over the top and drop down, or you can go in from the left or from the right, which was like a lane, a very open lane for snipers or scouts or hand cannons or literally anything. The creativity of where you can approach points from and where the chokes were created, very 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 unique. So I'm excited to see more D1 maps come into it. Moving on, Trials of Osiris note. In case it's not clear from the above, the Trials of Osiris experience is not impacted by other content moving into the DCV this year. Lighthouse will continue to be available for those who earn the flawless passage. That's good, and that makes me also think that maybe they might yank out a map or two to just be trials maps, but I don't know. I'm assuming at first it'll be a rotation of just what is. Speaking of which, for trials, like I know in D1 at a certain point they went into a place where it was a grab bag map, so like you would have a few maps in the rotation on any given weekend, not any given one, a specific weekend where it was just like kind of grab bag mode. They haven't done that in D2, have they?
No, but I also don't think Trials has been out long enough for people to really
it came out in
March. That Season of Dawn,
March
right? Or Season of the Worthy.
Yeah, when actually did Trials come back?
So that's 2 seasons ago. So almost 6 months ago.
Okay,
Right.
got it. Yep. All right, so that works. Any other feelings from you about that?
Glad Trials is sticking around. Literally,
Yeah.
I if the lighthouse moved to another location, I wouldn't care. The fact
Yeah.
that the game mode needs to stay, and
Yeah.
people like the lighthouse haven't been to it in D2, so must be nice.
Yeah.
but
Hopefully we'll get there.
but I'm hoping that we'll get there soon, and I'm glad that we'll have the chance to in the future.
Yep. I like it. I like that it's sticking around. I think there's no reason for that. Like from a lore perspective, like no reason to move the lighthouse. Like you saying, they can put it anywhere, but it makes the most sense for it to be there for lore reasons. All right. Raids and dungeons. No dungeons rotating into the vaults, as all dungeon hosting destinations will remain active in the game. So this is where they are sticking to their planetary thing. Note that the Prophecy dungeon will become temporarily unavailable for a brief period, allowing our team to make necessary technical update. Real talk, I don't think there's any technical update. I think they want to remove one pinnacle potential location for the sake of not letting people be over leveled going into the raid. I think
Tinfoil perk.
I'm just thinking, I'm like, makes the most sense. There's nothing wrong with Prophecy. It works perfectly fine. There's no reason for it to be, unless they are fundamentally adding something to it, which I doubt, because then that would affect like the emblem chase and everything like that you could still go back and do. I think they just are dreadfully afraid of people being over leveled, because I think they actually really like this raid. They seem to be kind of excited about it and taking lots of little precautions that I'm noticing to prevent people from like over leveling and stuff.
Yeah, it could be. I think if I were to spin my own foil hat here, um, there's a lot of the prophecy that's going to just be story beats um, in Beyond or in Beyond Light, um, and I'm wondering if they're going to change it up. With sort of new vocal hits, new voice lines, animations, maybe even a new mechanic or boss. I'd be interested in seeing that. Technical update, maybe. I think if as written it was straight up true, which we really don't have a reason to believe either way. I'm thinking that there's something about prophecy that doesn't play well on the next gen systems that they're gonna have to fix before it launches on next gen, which
Fair.
is what I think could be a technical update if they weren't adding anything, if they just didn't change any of the lines.
Okay, that's fair. That works. And they're saying like the strikes, the raid follow the example. The Crucible and Gambit are the things that kind of bend the rule for the planets being retired. So raids moving into the vaults. Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, also on Leviathan. Spire of Stars, also on Leviathan. Crown of Sorrows, also on Leviathan, as well as Scourge of the Past. There will be 3 raids available in D2 starting November 10th. The new one, which is name redacted right now, which we know is going to be in the Deepstone Crypt. Last Wish, on the Dreaming City, and the Garden of Salvation. Those are going to be our 3 raids, and the content, the loot drops from them are going to be usable, for the following year, as worth of things, at least through the next summer, because we're assuming that if we're looking at the trials weapons, those would fall off or before the 1060s, because I think the trial stuff is 1310, whereas the raid stuff is 1360. So they were going to look at them as like a season before. But yeah, so that's an easy one. We knew that one was coming very much. Anticipating players would want to grab the coveted raid rewards and triumphs before they enter the vaults. This year's Moments of Triumph currently features 5 raids being added to the vault, with reward lockouts being removed to make them the grinding extra rewarding. If you're looking to earn your raid ring, Moments of Triumph seal, or just finish collecting the last few items for your collection, you have the rest of this season to jump in with friends and close out strong. That makes sense. That's not anything that we were kind of surprised by. We are also to bring the Vault of Glass out of the vaults and into Destiny 2 for the first time at some point during Year 4. I think they mentioned that was going to be something that was going to come maybe springtime. I don't remember where I heard that, or maybe if that was just a rumor or what, but I don't think we see the Vault of Glass before springtime of 2021, to be honest with you.
I mean, I would be surprised, because I'm hoping that the Witch Queen launches with another raid as well, because that's the
I think it
2021
will. I honestly
expansion.
think the vault is kind of there to pepper in more content that's not they don't have to work as hard to make.
So technically, so if these are yearly expansions, 2020 fall Beyond Light drops, 2021 fall Witch Queen drops.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, year 4 starts in 2021 fall, and then we would see it in the spring of 2022.
Well, year four. They said starts November 10th.
Yep, never mind. I'm an idiot.
So we're
I keep forgetting
no,
we're
you're
in year
fine.
3.
We're
still in
we're
year 2,
starting.
guys. Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're starting year 4 this fall.
Wait, let's
For it.
just
That
get
makes
it off
sense.
my dumb face.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of stuff with like
Listen, Perk.
every game deals with seasons differently and stuff too, so it's a little weird.
Time is a flat circle. I wish we
All
were still in
right,
2019.
that's fine. Next year is just going to be 2020 again. It's okay. We talked about this. We're trying it again next year. You didn't age. You get another birthday, whatever your birthday was this year. You get another one. You get a freebie. You know, it happens. Sometimes you got to do that. All right, so moving on to completing your collection exotic quests. As content enters the vault, there will be some quests that can obviously no longer be able to be completed. These quests will be retired November 10th, and incomplete progress will be abandoned. If you want to acquire these exotics via their original quest, do so prior to the end of this season. That is Sturm, Meta Multi-Tool, Rat King, Legend of Acreus, Sleeper Simulant, Polaris Lance, World Line Zero, Ace of Spades, Last Word, Le Monarch, Yotun, Izanagi's Burden, Thorn, Lumina, Truth, and Bad Juju. They said none of these legacy exotics are being retired. Their original acquisition journeys are simply entering the vaults alongside their supporting destination and activity content. That makes sense. That was nothing that we were surprised. We kind of knew that was going on. They say also we still want to add new and existing player. We still want new and existing players to be able to earn these legendary exotics. So starting in year 4, any exotic tied to a quest that has been vaulted will now become available through a new memorial kiosk situated among the vault kiosks in the tower. Interesting. We'll have more information later this season on how that works and how to earn any exotics that you don't get your hands on before year 4. So that's kind of new. That's
That's it.
something new. I mean, like, I'm curious how that's going to work. Like, what are we going to be required?
So we already have something like this in the game at the Cryptarch, where we trade that exotic currency that we get one of
Yeah,
in the season pass to
like that.
get a previous seasonal exotic. I could totally see this being that way, where you get maybe one per season, or maybe this is an exotic exotic currency dropped from like raids, like it give you a reason to run Last Wish over and over again instead of just getting 1K voices. You're like, shit, I don't have Jotun. Let me go like grind out this really hard end game activities for a chance at a currency to get an exotic drop. That would make sense to me. And
Yeah,
the system's there already.
yeah, I could see. I mean, I'm hoping for a little more activity and a little more of a connection between it, but we will see what's going on. They go on to say now you may be asking yourself, hey, what about catalysts previously acquired through content that is now in the vault? And they list the catalysts that are going to be going away. There's quite a bit of them. And they will be unavailable. This is important too. These catalysts are going into the vault and will not be available to earn at all in season 12.
The right
So
column.
that's going to be for a couple months. Yeah. So yeah. A lot of them are staying, available. Let's just go with what's not available because everything else is available. The Bad Juju, so you won't be able to get that. Huckleberry, interestingly enough, because Huckleberry I think just drops from Strike, so that's kind of a weird one. Izanagi's Burden, that is a that's going. That was from
That's Prestige
Menagerie. Legend of Acreus, that's tied to the raid. Polaris Lands tied to Mars, that's fine. Skyburner's Oath was another Strike one. Sleeper Simulant, understandable. That was tied to, I think, Prestige Spire. Telesto, which was tied to Prestige Eater of Worlds, so that makes sense too. Outbreak Perfected.
0
That,
hour.
yeah. Is 0 hour going away? I don't know if we heard that. I don't know if we got an official confirmation. I think we're assuming that Whisper was. which is because it was on Aya, but Outbreak's Catalyst going away is something interesting. Same with the Whisper Catalyst and the Worldline Zero is just that's a Mars only exotic.
The
Right. So that makes sense. The Outbreak and Whisper are a little bit interesting because I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think we had a way of getting them. And also this too, when you're looking at this list, like there's a bunch of strike catalysts that are remaining, but the Huckleberries won't be. Same with the Skyburner's Oath. Kind of weird. I guess maybe they have their own unique like reasons for it and stuff. I don't know. That's kind of an interesting one. What do you think? How do you feel about that?
I feel like I need to look up where these catalysts dropped because I completed them so long ago that I'm like, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember where
Okay.
I got the
Yeah, you did.
Huckleberry.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a strike one, I think.
so yeah, I think I don't know. The asterisks, by the way, those are for if you have if you have the catalyst, it will not go away, but the objective will no longer be available at the end of Season of Arrivals. So it's effectively vaulted.
Yeah, I would recommend for anyone out there who is wondering what they can leave. I would say, honestly, catalysts are generally very easy to do. I would recommend just getting them done, just in case, for any guns that you think are going to be valuable.
All of these catalysts
Um,
will come out of the vault and be made available with new objectives if needed in a future season. Okay. So
yeah,
that's at least
yeah.
reassuring.
So they're at least going to come back with it and stuff. But you still didn't answer my question. What goes away when the destination is vaulted? The answer is when a destination enters the vault, its PvE content will no longer be available explicitly. This includes their unique story missions, strikes, raids, dungeons, adventures, secret missions. So that's why Whisper is going away because it's a secret mission, technically. Vendors and associated bounties, destination-specific patrols, or destination-specific patrols, collectibles and scannables, destination-specific activities. Example: Mercury's Forge, Mars's escalation protocol, and then freely roaming in the destinations themselves, exploring the lost sectors, etc. Next question is: what will new Guardians experience if the Year One campaigns are going away? Answer is with some of the core year one destinations entering the vaults, it's true that the free for all players, Red War, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind campaigns will not be playable. We're building a new expanded Guardian original story on the Cosmodrome that will launch alongside Year 4 and will be available to all Guardians to play. It's designed to introduce you to the world and the mechanics of Destiny and prepare you for play in an action MMO game we all enjoy. The Forsaken and Shadowkeep story campaigns will still be playable in Year 4 for owners of those expansions. Okay, so Shadowkeep, Forsaken, that's going to be your content that you want to keep. For everybody else, for the new light players, like I've been talking about this because they did allude to it, it's going to start fresh, and I would wager to guess that it's going to start very much like how we all played in D1, because they've already introduced a lot of the Cosmodrome and stuff back to that. So I'm assuming they're going to kind of like tweak some different things and kind of bring all that stuff back around. So
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
On the Year One campaigns not being playable doesn't exactly make sense from a planetary perspective.
Yeah.
But I get it. You need to make room in the install for new shit.
Yeah.
Happy to like it. It's not like that was the greatest campaign in Destiny history.
No, not by a long shot.
So here's to like the new campaign and making it better. I'm really, really interested in the new light experience because now, not only do you not have like the Red War, which is sort of the jump on point for D2, but we're gonna have something entirely different from like the Cosmodrome.
Yeah,
because they said they were gonna change it up as well. Just excited to see what happens with that because the new light experience, as many people have like expressed, and a lot of our friends coming back to the game or joining the game after vanilla like have said like, dude, what is going on? Why do I have to go to Amanda Holiday? Or in the case of some of my friends, I didn't even know that Amanda Holiday was the person who gave you the campaigns. I thought you just had them. So like,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Like, I've had
What
a
do we
lot
have
of
there?
friends who were turned off of D2 because of just the fractured nature of the campaigns. Hoping that they can come back strong in year 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So going with there's the last two things that they covered in the TWAB. So let's go over these. The question is, what's happening to the Whisper and 0 Hour heroic missions and their exotic rewards? And their answer is the Whisper is entering the vault alongside Io, and so too is 0 Hour, given that the old tower is technically part of the Red War campaign. And is entering the vault. So that's interesting to know. Their exotic weapon rewards will not be acquirable until we find a new way to introduce them. So if you're keen to get them, make sure you do that now. That's kind of a big one because Outbreak and Whisper are arguably. I mean, when my friend Big Tony joined us, I was like, you know what? It's day 2. Let's go get you both really important exotics. We literally did Whisper and we did Outbreak with them. Those are the first two that we got from him because they're just kind of ubiquitous with kitting up a new player to have as their exotic weapons. And the second question is, with the Forsaken campaign, Tangled Shore, and Dreaming City sticking around after Beyond Light's launch, does that mean other year 2 seasonal content will remain playable in year 4 as well? The answer is no. The year 2 seasonal content, including Forges, the Reckoning, and the Menagerie, will be entering the vault, which I think we were a little bit foggy on the Forges and Reckoning. The Menagerie, I think we assumed because it was on the Leviathan ship. So that enters the vault on November 10th. Um, so they're saying to be sure to enjoy that experience and mark the final items off your collection and checklists before they're vaulted. And they go on to list a cheat sheet for what to complete. Ada 1 quest, Black Armory, Season of the Forge, Gambit Prime, Reckoning, and the Drifter stuff. Benedict, Werner, the Menagerie, Season of Opulence stuff. Pinnacle and Pursuit weapon quests. They just listed those in general. So I'm going to make the assumption that things like Hush, things like exit strategy and stuff like that, especially with those guns actually being sunset. I'm assuming the quests and the method to acquire them is also being sunset as well, because they're mentioning Pinnacle and Pursuit weapons, because
Well,
those I believe are considered the pursuits.
it makes sense for the Gambit weapons because they're going to combine Gambit and Gambit Prime to something new. But I'm
Yeah,
interested in seeing if that applies to PvE, and well, it probably will, as well as the PvP guns, because Randy's
yeah,
Mountaintop,
they're
all of
still
those
going to
things.
remain for normal Crucible. They do note that these weapons will receive an alternate acquisition method. More details later this season before it vaults. So interesting that they're keeping them despite that stuff not being part of there, and then they go on to share the fashion show stuff. So that is the thing. We've got some Prime Gaming reward loot. I see you got up on the screen as well. Cool. That is the patch notes. Kind of interesting. So we wanted to take a minute to go over that stuff with you guys. I know we normally kind of incorporate a little section in the podcast each week on the TWAB. So we just wanted to pull it separately because we had our first guest on the podcast this week. So yeah, do you have any other thoughts, Will, before we head out?
Um, I'd like better Prime Gaming rewards.
I would too. I think they're kind of whack. Like the Ghost Shell is cool, like the Sparrow is cool, but that ship, dude, like that ship is. There's a
Uh,
thousand ways to get a ship that looks like it. I like the standoff emote. That's at least cool.
Well, like
So
also just in the past, we got like Suros and Suro skins. We got but like an exotic weapon and exotic skins. Like
yeah, I mean, with a lot of Twitch Prime, you look at other games and stuff like that, and you see unique content created for Twitch. They even did it in Destiny. They had that Twitch emblem and shaders and stuff like that.
that's for gifting
Yeah,
subs, which you
yeah.
can totally do in our channel, or you can subscribe to
Hey,
our channel on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime connected to your Twitch Prime account, you've got Twitch Prime,
you've got
and
Prime Gaming now. It's not
yeah,
Twitch Prime anymore.
you've got Prime Gaming, so you can support our show and us doing more content like this in the future. If you choose to do so, it's totally free to you. All you gotta do is go to twitch.tv/caffeines, hit the subscribe button, and click subscribe with Prime. Whew, plug over.
Prime.
But yeah, no, I wish we had better Prime rewards.
Yeah,
I don't know really what they could do with it. Maybe like, just to be honest, like if I look at other Prime Gaming rewards, like, do I really like the Twitch skin in Apex Legends for Pathfinder that makes
Pathfinder.
them a Twitch bot? Like,
Eh,
kinda, but
sometimes.
is it better than what we're
But
getting in
Warframe
Destiny? A
stuff
little
is
bit
good.
too. Yeah, it is.
Warframe had really really good stuff.
Or hey,
But yeah,
Amazon, throw us some silver.
I'd be down for that. Even if
200
it was just
silver.
like,
Like a month.
even I wouldn't even hate it if there was just like like some skins or like even more shaders that were like Prime exclusive. Like I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Whatever.
So,
Not a
guys,
big deal.
this has been a supplemental Caffein's Cast, little extra espresso shot in your veins after the podcast. This will actually go up before the podcast drops, so be on the lookout for our episode with Moira, aka Destiny the Meme, on YouTube and Spotify. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell for notifications every time we drop the podcast. We're really behind on our clips, but we will also be hitting up some special content for you guys that in our non-live branches. Keep an eye out on our Twitter. That's twitter.com/caffeinesgg. And you'll be able to see what we're up to no matter what. I'm Will at WillProduces. He's Perk at PerkFGC. And this has been your Caffeine Supplemental. We're out.